Bought this for a friend as he recently bought a PS3 to go with his PS4. He only bought a PS3 again for the Mass Effect trilogy and was planning to buy a Cat5 splitter, but I told him they were useless and even worse for gaming, so suggested he buy a network switch. For just £7, it's an absolute bargain and is the usual excellent quality you'd expect from TP-Link. The unit we received is version 15 and barely bigger than my Huawei phone. Included with the switch is a small power supply which is about half the size of the switch, a manual and a warranty booklet. The actual box and inner packaging are both cardboard, which means they are easily recyclable. It's worth noting that no network cables are included, so bear this in mind when buying. I had some spare Cat5 cables anyway, so it was a case of connecting the main network cable to port number 1 and then his PS3 to number 2 and PS4 to number 3. You don't have to put the main input feed into number 1, any port will do, but for ease of use, I always connect the main input feed to port number 1 on a switch and then any equipment to the other ports starting from number 2. The power and status lights are green and not too bright, meaning this shouldn't cause much annoyance in a dark room. Once connected, he did a test on his PS4 and found there was absolutely no lag at all. Switching to the PS3 showed the same excellent results. He has 2 spare ports, so he can use one with his laptop when doing overnight downloading. 2 things worth mentioning: the switch can't be wall mounted as there are no holes on the bottom, but it's very light, so Velcro pads or strong double-sided tape should easily hold the weight. Also, the power input jack is on the left-hand side, which may make placement slightly awkward for some people. I've never had any problems with TP-Link gear. They do the job perfectly and always meet my strict standards. So if you need something reliable to expand your router's port count, then I strongly suggest this if you're on a budget. As the new SkyHub only has 2 Ethernet connections in it, I needed more, so I could connect Hive and hardwire our DV to the internet to get better connectivity. This has worked really well, an awesome, easy and cheap solution. So roughly 9 months ago I moved to a new apartment and the Ethernet cable setup was so abysmal, that I needed to potentially buy a splitter, but I googled splitters and it showed that they don't do that good of a job as they are normally cheaply made. Then I ran into this beautiful piece of tech and bought it instantly. All I can say is the review speaks for itself. Worked perfectly out of the box and is definitely worth every penny that I paid for it. Almost 6 months on it still works perfectly _carrot. Easy to install, but at first could not find the power LED. It is in the middle of one of the bigger faces, so if you want to fix it with double-sided tape, see below, you may not see it. Should be near the power supply socket? It is very small and light, so could use some means of fixing to a surface. Mine just dangles on the cables. 5 ports? Yes, but it has 5 sockets, but you use one to connect the input cable from your router. So that means you can only attach 4 devices. Included in the box is a 5-port unmanaged switch and a 12V power supply. I needed a way to add an extra port to the power line adapter I am using, and this provided the perfect solution. A reputable brand. You use 1 port of the 5 as an input, and this leaves the 4 remaining ports to provide a wired connection to your devices. In my case this is the 4K TV, UHD Blu-ray player, Chromecast Ultra and 1 port free should I ever require an additional device to be added in. Update 130,820. So good I have ordered another, this time for my study. Click link in description for more reviews.